Hey guys, I'm Matt, the Sometimes Island. I've brought you here today to talk about a few things, particularly the Bad People EP, and what it all means. So, I've learned a lot in making this, and I've found that being specific is really powerful. I used to write songs that were more or less about breakups or about a feeling that I had, like something would happen to me and I would think about like what that was and then want to capture that moment so everyone could understand it. And in making this EP, I found that that doesn't work. Being general is great, but that's best left for like textbooks. If I can write a song about someone in my life that made me feel feelings and talk about those feelings, those are the kind of things that people can relate to. So, walking through the track list, the Bad People EP was made over the course of probably like a year and a half. There was a lot of personal growth that went on during that time for me. So, Stick to Your Guns is a song that was very specifically about the aftermath of a breakup that I had with this girl who basically told me that being a musician is like playing the lottery. And I just couldn't accept that idea. And we were just fundamentally different. And she's a great person and no hard feelings to her, but uh, stick to your thing and I'll stick to mine was basically the message of that song. Can't Move On is also very specific. It's about two friends of mine who were in a relationship with one another, two women, and I was like the third wheel, and we were all hanging out all the time, and I got to see this thing like fall apart from a really like personal, close up perspective, and so that song is about that very specifically. Coming to think about it, a lot of my songs on the Bad People EP are about this sort of like disconnect and then perspective that results when two people separate. So, Golden Rule is also about the breakup of my band that preceded the Sometimes Island. Um, it was very cordial, but afterwards, I think that I had a big problem expressing how I felt about it, and I can't speak for the other person, but it was just kind of like a sad, sort of like, not even like a big knockout drag out fight, but like we just sort of passively were like, all right, bye, and stop talking to each other, which is almost worse, you know? If you love someone, you're thinking about them all the time and you're talking to them and interacting with them. If you hate someone, true, like a lot of people would be like, I'm thinking about how much I hate them. That's actually not that far off from love. If you're just not thinking about someone and they're just out of your mind and not a part of your life, I don't know what the word for that would be, but that's worse, I think. It's just nothing. Um, Bad People, the song Bad People, is a more general song, but I think it's one of the better ones I've been able to write conceptually about are people good, are people bad? I don't really think there are bad people. I think that the worst people in the world do terrible things, and that's what defines us as a good person or a bad person. But once you strip that away to like the core of who this person is, of their consciousness, um, it's kind of like that blank slate. You know, we're capable of whatever. We have propensities, but ultimately our willpower, I think, triumphs, and it's not such a deterministic world that we live in. I'm getting too meta. Succulent is about succulents. There might be secret meanings to that song. Um, then Wish I Met You Before is I wrote that when I was really in love with somebody, and I just wish I'd met them sooner. You know, so it could have gotten started earlier. Um, Lastly, Mornings Are the Worst is about a really dark period of my life where I would see the sun rise because I'd been up all night and it was a huge bummer. And so I really like juxtaposing light and dark, and that song was like kind of like a, good morning in a really like negative light. If you read the lyrics, like some things were and some weren't. um, so thanks for stopping in with me, sitting by the fire. I hope this increases your enjoyment of the Bad People EP, and if you haven't checked it out already, please go do so. You won't be disappointed.